Okay. Interesting. Two cards came out with the hopes and fears, and then the Tower and the external energy. Let's see, the outcome, excuse me. The Seven of Wands. Of course you want to protect this. The Seven of Wands is something that's... But one of the things that I find very nice about this thing is about this reading, about this thing, is that you guys are feeling way more confident. I don't think I've seen such strong, confident energy in a long time. You guys have been through a lot, okay? Okay, fighting a lot of your inner demons. So you guys definitely coming out with the Magician and then the Seven of Wands. That's a great combination. I like that. Okay. So, let's see. Seven of Wands. I see that card as confident. This person knows that they're able to take on whoever they need to take on if they come and approach them, right? If they, this is protection here. The Seven of Wands is all about protecting, standing guard, right? Standing guard of what is yours, especially of your achievements, because the card previously is the Six of Wands, right? What have you achieved? What have you achieved? What have you gained? What are you, successful? What makes you feel successful? What made you feel proud, right? In this situation, you're very proud and you're very adamant about protecting what you're proud of. And I feel like this has to do with your relationship here. Now, this could be a platonic relationship that you met a new friend, someone that meant something dear to you, because friends can mean something very intense and deep too. They don't have to be literally romantic, romantic roses and hearts and stuff. It could be that this is a platonic relationship that means so much to you. So I kind of get the vibe this is someone that is your friend. And if this is your friend that you has also turned into lovers, congratulations, that is awesome. But I feel like the situation between you and this individual is so strong. This is a very strong connection because there's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of things that match. Right? There's a lot of things that are the same between you and this individual. You feel the same way, right? Any doubts about how this person feels, just know that how you feel about them is the way they feel about you. But even then, right? The other person don't matter because because coming from a pure expression means that you don't really look towards someone else's expression to do that. And I think that's why you're so confident, because you don't necessarily care about how the other person feels about you. You just know how you feel, and that's good enough. I really feel like that's good enough for you. Right? So that's awesome already from the start. You guys just know that how you feel about this person is good enough. If they feel the same way, that's excellent. If they don't, you just know where you are with this. Now, but I feel like this is definitely, a dream come true because of where this Nine of Cups is. But we're going to touch on that in a moment. Now, in the past, you guys have the Three of Wands. So I feel like you guys have been really working on something, really trying to manifest a situation to come through. In the past, you were waiting on some sort of return, waiting on some sort of response. And now you're taking whatever was returned to you and really making something out of it. Okay, you're creating something out of the materials that you've been possibly waiting for, right? And I say materials, but I mean in the situation that may resonate with you the most, right? I'm being as general as possible, so I reaches out to as many people as I possibly can. But I feel like with the Three of Wands, really, like you've been waiting for some sort of, it could be a message, it could be some news, it could have been something personal that you were waiting on, but it gave you the opportunity to manifest what you want, to work things in your favor, right? The Magician is the master manipulator, not of emotions and people, but of matter, okay? He's the manipulator of matter. He takes what's physically there, the pentacles, the wands, the swords, the cups, and uses those matters to create whatever he wants. That's why he's the master manipulator. But he's not a master manipulator. If you notice, there's no people here. He's not manipulating people. He's never manipulating people. It is clearly that he's using his resources, his tools. This is his tools. He's not a manipulator for using his own tools necessarily, right? He's not like a manipulator in that modern fashion. He's a manipulator in like a repairman or a carpenter. He uses the tools that's existing right there with him to create what he wants to create, right? Patience, dedication, commitment, desire, ideas, passion. I don't know if I said passion twice. His words, his, his structure. He's using his tools here. So you guys are using your tools. You guys are using what you know to manifest the manifest a relationship, to manifest what you want. So let's see what you guys are trying to manifest here. What is the Magician showing? Progress. You guys are trying to manifest progress. And two, like, you are confident in the work that you're doing. You're putting your best and you're putting your all into it. You're very focused, and that's good because, when you do any sort of work, it's really good to be focused. So I get this, right? You guys are really head in, arms, elbows deep into your work, into the working on the relationship. But it looks like creating a balance is one of the things that you're really working on, right? Give and take. Making sure that there's, there's evenness, right? And I think that's fair. I think that's really fair. So your future shows the Page of Cups. I feel like there may be an expression of love, expression of feelings here. Somebody may offer some sort of emotional some sort of emotional message to you, or somebody may offer something emotional to you, or something that has something to do with feelings. But I feel like mostly the Page of Cups is expressing a feeling, understanding, and looking a little deeply into what someone is feeling here, because pages are still students, and I feel like you're getting to, I think you're growing in your emotions. It's something that needs nurturing and love and care. So I kind of get this vibe that for you guys, the Page of Pentacles means a lot of things. One of them being that there may be some sort of message in regards to how someone feels. Another, this may be you communicating, right, to somebody. Or this could be about a feeling that's growing. A feeling, an emotion of love that's growing within. But it's a small little bud. It's not necessarily a full-fledged, flower yet, a rose. This is something that's starting out as a little bud and it's growing. But it needs time, and it needs, patience, and it needs, a nurturing place to flourish. So your best path to follow is the Nine of Cups, and I like that here. That's the dream come true, right? This is the contentment card, and I feel like when the Nine of Cups comes up as your best path to follow, it to me it's suggesting that you find the goodness in the circumstances that you're in, right? Like, what so far has definitely shown success, shown happiness, made you happy, right? And then, right, if this is definitely a dream come true for you, then don't let just can let that ride. I guess like the King of Wands, right? Let the feeling of happiness or contentment fuel your efforts. If that makes sense. Because if this is good, if you're happy here, let that be your fuel, right? This is a good fuel source. What makes you happy is inspiring you to continue to make action and continue to work hard for it. Now, especially considering that there's a lot of balancing that needs to be done, or there's a lot of give and take that's being worked out in the process. Okay, I think whatever is being balanced here, it's definitely requiring some work, but I don't think this is anything that's, upsetting you or anything. I think this is something that, this is still a dream. This is still a relationship that you wanted. This is still a circumstance that you wanted to be in. And this is just like pretty much showing gratitude by focusing on what you're doing, right? You loving the situation, you seeing the situation as something that you've always wanted, and being happy with the circumstances, and how you're showing it is by putting work into where the areas may not be perfect. That's all that is. That's how you show gratitude. That's how you're showing gratitude right now. So Aries, what an amazing reading so far. Now your hopes and fears are showing the King of Swords in the World, and those two came out. I pulled them together, so I just wanted the pull. So these two together, to me, they're very interesting regarding hopes and fears. All right. So I'm kind of getting the sense that maybe they're both separate, right? You're hoping that maybe, things become more serious. You know who you want. You're clear on what you desire, who you are, and so forth, and your truth that you stand by. But the fear is that things will wrap up the world. Maybe that you're not ready for the situation to complete itself, to go on to the next phase. Maybe you're happy with where everything is, but you're not quite sure if you're prepared for the next step, right? Like, you want to be certain in yourself that whatever is being completed, that you're ready. Or it's vice versa, right? Maybe you hope for there to be the next step, and you hope that situations don't get serious, right? The King of Swords doesn't have to cut someone out, or someone doesn't have to be, a bit literal in the situation. But your outcome shows the Tower. Your outcome shows the Tower. I really like that card, because I don't think this is necessarily something coming in that you didn't expect. I think this is you making some serious changes that will ultimately change the path that you are on with this person that you have here in your relationship. This person may be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius that you're dealing with. Okay, something tells me it's really an Aquarius, because you have the World, which has all the fixed signs: Leo, Scorpio, Taurus, and Aquarius. So I kind of get this feeling that maybe you're hoping to be the Aquarius's other half, if this is an Aquarius. But if it's not an Aquarius, then this could be that you just want to feel like you want to be certain of yourself and of who you are and what you stand for and what you believe, right? You want to be clear on who you are, to be able to feel comfortable completing the cycle, or to be able to move on past the World. Because I think the situation is already at its end. When I see the World card in the hopes and fears like that, a situation is in a celebratory phase, right? You're good. There's nothing wrong here. There's nothing bad. I think you're getting ready for the next step to kick off. But it's like, are you ready for it? And that's the part that I think that's really the thing that you're worried about. But I feel like you going in already, striking the Tower down. It's like, yeah, I'm ready. I think the only thing I'm like coming from, the only thing I'm getting from the hopes and fears is that you may have doubts that you're 100% ready. But the Tower to me says that you're going to kick the door open anyway, whether you're ready, whether you feel you're ready or not, because I think you know what you want. I think you know what you're capable of, even more so than you have in a long time. You're very aware of what you're capable of. So I feel like the Tower isn't something that's going to come in for you. I think you're going to make the Tower happen. But let's pull a clarifier for the Tower. Why is the Tower coming up in Aries outcome? Wow, the King. See, I told you. King of Wands. That is somebody making this Tower situation happen, fam. This here, that is legitimately somebody making the Tower happen. The King of Wands. That's you. You're not going to wait for this Tower to happen. You're going to make it happen. You're going to come into this being like, all right, this is what I want. This is what I know I want. If I am not ready, then I know I'm not ready when I do it. I love it. I love it. No, nothing keeping you down. Nothing apprehending you. I love it. Seek the lesson comes out here. Nice. And seek the lesson is talking about looking beyond the surface to understand what's being gained here, right? Because there's always a lesson with everything that we do. Good times, hard times, all of those things come up because there's something to show us. There's a deeper lesson here. And I think that, looking closer at the situation, yeah, look at that. Looking closer at the situation, you'll be able to understand what's playing out, so that the next phase isn't so daunting. But Between Worlds. The Between Worlds card usually talks about something that's starting before something else is finished. So it's almost like saying, don't rush the situation if there's something that needs to be tied up, because trying to rush to the next phase, so this may not be that you're not sure if everything's prepared. It could be that you're anxious to get started. You're anxious to get everything going and moving. But I feel like the situation here with the Between the Worlds could also play the other way too, that you may be apprehensive or whatever. It's taking too long in the past when there's another phase starting, right? This is usually a transitioning period for the Between Worlds card, right? It's a transitioning period, but it's about cleaning up what's ending before you, so you can go into something after you, completely fresh start, right? To have a complete fresh start without any sort of stuff from the past creeping in, right? Nothing that you gotta try to wrap up so you can really focus on what's new.